Dear students, greetings to all. In this module, we'll be beginning with the new chapter, Chapter 7, Structural Organization in Animals. That is, Animal Tissues, Chapter 7 of Biology. Now, let us talk about tissues. What is tissue or how do we define tissue? Tissue is a group of cells in which cells are similar in structure, function and origin. So tissue is a group of similar cells having specific function and origin. In tissues, cells may be dissimilar in structure and function, but they are always similar in origin. The word animal tissue was coined by Bichat and plant tissue by Grew. Study of tissue is referred to as histology. Histology was a word that was given by Mayer, and father of histology is Bichat. On the basis of functions and structure, tissues are basically of four types: epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and last but not the least, nervous tissue. They are classified on the basis of function and structure. The function of epithelial tissue is to provide protection, whereas connective tissue helps to connect structures, it provides support, it facilitates the process of transportation. Muscular tissue helps in contraction and locomotion. Nervous tissue helps in the conduction of nerve impulses. Firstly, let us talk about the animal tissue, that is epithelial tissue or the epithelium. The word epithelium was given by Roche. Epithelium is the only tissue in which cells are arranged in a uniform layer. So we can see that the cells, they are arranged uniformly. Power of regeneration is present in this tissue. During embryonic development, this epithelial tissue is the first tissue to be formed. Now, when we talk about the word that is epithelium, this term epi, it refers to upon, and thelia refers to growth. So it is a tissue which grows upon another tissue, and it is called as epithelium. It covers or lines our body and various body parts. We'll see that the cells are compactly arranged and there is very little minuscule, or we can say no, intercellular space which is present. Talking about the epithelial tissue, they are basically divided into two types. That is the simple or the single layered and compound epithelial tissue, which comprises of many layers or multi-layered. Now when we see the epithelial tissue, we can see that the one denoted in gray, that's the basement membrane on which the epithelial tissue it rests. The basement membrane is secreted by epithelial tissue as well as connective tissue. Because the cells are very compactly arranged in an epithelial tissue, here there is absence of blood vessels. But then lower to the epithelial tissue, it is the connective tissue where we can see the blood vessels, and therefore the epithelial tissue, it derives the nutrition from the connective tissue. Between the epithelium and the connective tissue is a membrane which is referred to as the basement membrane, which is highly permeable and it helps in the transportation of nutrients from the connective tissue to the epithelium. In this module, we had a discussion on the epithelial tissue. We have started with the introductory part related to the epithelial tissue. In the next module, we will be discussing in detail the different types of epithelial tissue. Hopefully, you must have garnered all the concepts thoroughly. Thank you for being a patient listener.